Hi everybody, my name's Jason Irvine. I've tried to make a video already, but I'm not very good at this because I'm old and not very good at videos. So I'm trying my second attempt. The reason I'm doing this is I want to raise awareness for one, and hopefully get everybody to come together and fight against the manufacturers of the opioids, especially Purdue, who started this epidemic. And to get a quick history of what's going on, if you're not aware, there is a big class action lawsuit against most of the opioid manufacturers, along with Walmarts and Rite Aids and pharmacies and doctors and everybody who is trying to say that they didn't do anything wrong, even though when they were getting 10 times what would be normal of that medication and distributing it to everybody, calling in early and wanting their medication and everything that went on with all that. They try to deny culpability now. It's amazing how many people got rich in the process. But give you a quick history from me. I was raised in West Virginia. You can see the hills around me as I drive right now. It's basically this area is kind of like ground zero when it comes to the opioid epidemic. I was in the military. I got out of the military and came back here to live. Had a good job. Bought a house. And it was probably when I was 27 or 28 I started having some major back problems. MRI showed that I had ruptured disc, herniated disc, degenerative disc disease, stenosis, basically, the A, B, C, D, E, F, G of back problems. When the nurse come walking in after my MRI, she said, "Oh, I expected a 70-year-old man to be here," which is always a great feeling when you're 27 years old. But so they started prescribing me medication. Well, it wasn't long before that I was given Oxycontin. I was told that it was the miracle drug, non-addictive, a 12-hour medication, and I was prescribed for, I'd say, 15 years. By the end of it, I was prescribed 2 80-milligram Oxycontins a day and 4 30 Roxysets a day. It altered my life, so I thought, okay, these pills were my problem. I'm going to call my doctor and tell him not to give them to me anymore, and then I'll get control over it. Well, that didn't happen. Got very sick. The story goes from there, in and out of methadone clinics, detoxes, rehabs. I went to my first detox and rehab when I was 45, and that's the first time that I learned about addiction. Before that, I didn't know. People would ask me, "Why do you do what you do? Why are you doing what you're doing?" And I couldn't answer. I couldn't understand my own mind at that point. But I figured out that that I was given a disease of addiction by the Sackler family in Purdue, through their lies, deceptions, marketing tactics. They knew that this medication was addictive, bad. They also knew it wouldn't last 12 hours. It only last 8 hours. I mean, the laundry list of things that went wrong with that. That now I think there's 135,000 of us that are the original people that were prescribed this medication before any knowledge about it was out. By the time the information was available, I had been prescribed it for probably 4 years, and it was way too late. So 4.5 years ago, I signed up for this lawsuit, and now it's not long ago they opened it for individuals, and I guess it's bankruptcy court, and they're talking different tiers, and the worst cases are going to get up to $40-some thousand, and what a joke. I mean, firstly, how about the family that had an overdose or lost a family member, you're going to give them $40,000 and say, okay, I'm sorry for your loss? Are you kidding me? You might as well spit in their face while you're at it, because that's basically what you did. They got rich, lived a billionaire lifestyle at the backs and the blood and the suffering of people like me and them. I didn't die. I did overdose. I'd say 3 years ago. I turned 50 here in June. For the first time. I didn't shoot up. It was, I started out taking them normally, and then I would chew them after a couple years, and then I did actually, start to put them up my nose. But the thing that's funny is that through this process, I read that they're comparing it to the big tobacco. Firstly, you can't make that comparison. There isn't a comparison. The big tobacco was a lawsuit for, they had marketing tactics to get kids. And firstly, when all that went on, everybody knew the dangers of cigarettes. There wasn't like a group of people like us that were given cigarettes and lied to that they weren't harmful, that they were the miracle, they were non-addictive, they were all these things that were lies. We all knew the dangers of cigarettes when we picked them up. So there isn't like a group of people. The reason they compare it is because of the money, the $264 billion that the government and cities and that got. And you know what? They spent 2 to 3% of it on tobacco projects and smoking sensations, and 2-3% of that money. The rest of it went for budget fixing and bridges. I know that they built a state police barrack or gym. Our governor here in West Virginia tried to buy a helicopter. Yeah, that's where the blood money went. And actually, in South Carolina, North Carolina, 75% of their money went back to the tobacco industry. So the reason they compare that, they should be comparing it, is because they're just saying that the government should not get this money that's coming from Purdue. The city should not, municipalities, tribes, whatever else, should not get it because they don't know how to spend it. But they shouldn't get it at all. The people who should get it are the people that were harmed. I'm driving right now. Let's say I rear end somebody. Should the government get the money that I caused? No. When I rear end somebody, that person is I am liable for my negligence of driving wrong. That person should then get money for their medical bills, their loss of wages, their inconvenience, their pain and suffering, consortium with their not being able to take care of their husband or their wife. That's our system. The same as if you worked for a big whatever industrial place, and the boss sends you into to do something that's dangerous and knowingly knows it's dangerous, and you get hurt. Guess what? Firstly, there's things for people that get hurt, but they're going to be personally liable because they knew that their hazard existed. And they sent you in there anyways, and you got hurt. Especially if you got hurt where you can't take care of your family. You lost your job. That's the reason our system is in place to pay people that get injured like that. Purdue is no different. They are negligent for lying to us, and they have destroyed lives. They destroyed my life. The person that you see here today is nothing like the person that got out of the military with an honorable discharge and had dreams and admirations and bought a house. I've lost my house. I've lost everything. Boats, four-wheelers, jewelry that was mine and my wife's, guns, everything that I've ever owned is gone. Sold. Because, the medication alone was almost $1,000 a month. That was covered for a while, and then all of a sudden wasn't covered. I had to see the doctor every single month, and then the treatments. We're talking, I probably spent over $1 million in just that stuff alone. That doesn't include the damage that I've caused my family. I have hurt everybody around me, unfortunately, and I'm not trying to justify it, to say it's right. That isn't this topic today. We could go on about addiction and some of the things that people do and I have done. Fortunately, I did draw a few lines in the sand that I would not cross, that other people have, but that's, like I said, that's another topic. What I'm talking about today is, why should the government, cities, municipalities, everything else get the money from Purdue, the billions of dollars that they're spending, before the people like us, the people that they know were lied to and their lives were totally stolen. I mean, how much would you sell your life for? I'm 50. I'm going to be turned 50 years old. I was in my early 20s when this all started going on, and I've lost that. How much would you sell it for? Would you sell it for $30,000? Not a chance. I mean, there's prisoners that have gone to prison for 20 years and that found out innocent have gotten millions of dollars for those years. Most of them wouldn't sell it for that, but at least they're trying to compensate them for what was taken. This is a blatant destruction of lives, and they're trying to give a couple of bucks, which is just an insult. I mean, we're all going to take it. Of course we are. I mean, who wouldn't? But still, there's all this extra money that's out there that should be going to us. They should be sitting down like any other lawsuit and figuring out each person's individual losses and damages and paying based upon that. It's not right. There needs to be everybody that's involved in this lawsuit, especially individuals, need to stand up and join together and fight against the government and the people who are trying to steal this money and take it for themselves. What losses did they have? I mean, sure, I guess they've had, to do extra hospital care and they're paying, but they haven't lost their house. Everything that they've ever maybe possibly dreamed of is gone, and they're left with as a 50-year-old man who's going to be struggling with this nice gift the rest of my life. I'm sorry, but I'm going to continue to fight this. We all need to make sure that this needs to go to the people who actually were used and thrown away, and these people then lived a billionaire lifestyle at the expense of our lives. The only reason the government steps in is because there's a lot of money. They want their piece. And we all know how they spend it, which that's that. Like, so we already talked about that. So please, you can contact me on Facebook. Look me up. My last name is Irvine, Irvine. I will gladly talk to you. We can all get together. I'm no better than you, no worse than you. Families who have lost loved ones, God, you have suffered the most. Please reach out. If we let this happen, which is coming to a head, this is all going to come to an end soon, and we need to do it now. We need to contact as many powerful people as possible to try to fight this robbery that's taking place again. We've got screwed once, now we're getting ready to get screwed again. So, hey, stay strong. I know there's still a lot of you out there that are suffering. There is some answers. You can have a life of sorts, which is, yes, it's not going to be the same as it was when you were younger. You're not going to have the same everything, and things are changed. They're different now, and I understand that, but it can be done. Give me a call. Let me know. I want to do this. I'm adamant about it, and there's lots of money that's involved, and I think that we're owed that money. Thanks. Love you guys.